Hi everyone, and welcome to day 4 of AZ-104 training. And I hope the past days were exciting for you, resourceful for you guys, and we'll be resuming the day 4 from today onwards. And we have Yasin with us to guide us on it and train us on the AZ-104. Let's hear from him. Over to you.
Hello everyone, how are you? So we will have to start the fourth day of this session. So before we start the session, I want to review the last assessment questions and answers. So we have the questions. Let me check the questions first. Our first, our first question was, you are currently using network security groups NSG to control how your network traffic flows in and out of your virtual network, subnets, and network interfaces. You want to customize how your NSGs work. For all incoming traffic, you need to apply your security rules to both the virtual machine and subnet level. Which of the following option will let you accomplish this? So, what do you think about this? It is like choose any two of the questions. So it will be like it will be like configure the allow VNet inbound security rules and all new NSGs. It will not work. Create rules for both NICs and subnets with allow. Yes, of course, this one. So it will be first one will be B. Delete the default rules. It will not work. Add rules with a higher priority than default rules. This will. So you have first of all you have to make all and allow actions and add a rules of higher priority of the default rules. There are some default rules, so you have to add a priority of the higher default rules. So the answer will be B and D. Then there is a question, you're configuring the Azure firewall. You need to allow Windows update network traffic through the firewall. Which of the following should you use? It is, suppose you are using a firewall, so you need to update the Windows. So you have to configure the network traffic in the firewall to allow that Windows traffic will work, Windows update will work. So it will be a application rules, because other rules, net rules is for the net translation, for the network translation for the private IP to public IP, and network rules is for inside or outside network rules for your subnets or virtual networks. So it will be application rules. Then we have question number 3, which is, you want to connect different VNets. Question number 3, you want to connect different VNets in same region as well as different region and decide to use VNet peering. Accomplish this. Which of the following statement is not true about VNet peering? Select one. Which one is not true actually for? A is the virtual network can exist in any Azure cloud region. Network traffic between peered virtual network is private. Well, obviously it is private. Peering is easy to configure and manage. It is true. Gateway transit can be configured regionally or globally. Of course, it can be regional. So first A. A is the virtual network can exist in any Azure cloud region. It will not true. So answer will be A. Then we have a question. that you are configuring. Application number 4, you are configure VNet peering across two Azure virtual networks, VNet 1 and VNet 2. We have a two network, VNet 1 and VNet 2. We are peering that one. You are configuring VPN gateway and also configuring a VPN gateway. You want to VNet 2 to be able to use VNet 1's gateway to get resources outside of the peering. What should you do? Select one. So what we have to do to make a VNet to make the access of VNet 1 to VNet 2, it will be select allow gateway transit on VNet 1 and use remote gateways on VNet 2, because VNet 1 is a direct gateway is there and we have to remotely connect it to VNet 2 for use of the gateway to go the outside of the peering. So it will be question number 4, 5. 4 will be A. And question 5. You manage large data center that is running. You manage large data center that is running out of space. You propose extending the data center to Azure using multi-protocol level switching with virtual private network. Which connectivity option would you select? Select one. Which one? It will be a multi-protocol level switching for virtual private network. It will be point to site. It will not work because point to site is different technology. VPN peering, we don't need VPN peering here. Multi-site also, we don't have a multi-site here. Site to site, it will not work. Express route, yes, it is work because your manage a large data center is running out of space. Your propose extending the data center to Azure using a multi-protocol level switching. It is multi-protocol level switching, and the multi-protocol level switching of private network is for express route, and that's why it will be a correct answer. So question number 6, correct answer will be E. So for question number 5, correct answer will be E. So this is the way this is the answers we have so far in this in the last session. So we can start now the today's session. As usual, I will cover today 2 modules of this Azure AZ-104 syllabus. So I am sharing the my I'm sharing my presentation here. I think everyone is watching can watch my screen. I have shared my screen. Today we will have a module number 7, and it is network traffic management. Network traffic management, last class we taught about the virtual network subnets, how we can assign virtual network, how we can make virtual network, how we can assign IP and subnets, and the other class we discuss about inter-site connectivity like VPN gateway, VNet peering, and express route. Now this module we will talk about network traffic management. It means how we will control the traffic and how we will control the traffic of your network on premises and also in our cloud network. So this module there will be overview of network routing and endpoints, how the network will route and what is the endpoints, how we will balance the load, traffic load in Azure. And there is another way to control the application traffic, that is application gateway, and there will be a lab. So first of all, we will know about network routing and endpoints. When we network, what is the route? Route is the way how your data will go through from one subnet or one virtual network to another virtual network, or from to the internet. So when if any actually when we create a subnet or a virtual network or a virtual machines, then automatically system, Azure system, make a default route for them, that they will create a route. That one is called system route. The system route directs network traffic between virtual machines, on-premise network, and the internet. It is how it is working. It is showing that how one virtual machine can connect with other virtual machine in which way, and also one premises network can suppose on premises networks, how premises network we connect with the virtual, any virtual machine or any virtual network. These routes is automatically by default done by the Azure system. It is called system route. What they are doing, they are doing traffic between VMs in the same subnet. Two VMs in the same subnet, they will use the system route to connect with each other. Between VMs in different subnets in the same virtual network. Suppose in the same virtual network, different VM can be connected with each other in different subnets. But in same virtual network, different subnet. For subnet A, subnet B, there is a virtual machine in subnet A and there is a virtual machine in subnet B. So they will go, how will connect with each other, that one will defined by system route. Data flow from VMs to internet, from any VM to internet, how data will go, that can be also defined by the system route. Communication between VM using a VNet to VNet peering. How, when we done VNet to VNet peering, then also a auto system route is generated to connect with two virtual network, site to site and express route communication through the VPN gateway. It was also done by the system route. When you create these things, then automatically a system route is generated to create the path of data flow. And this is for routing table. Routing table is one table. They will create a one table where the all the record will be there from how a machines or how a devices can connect with each other and which way data is flowing. Now again, there is another way to do it. That one is user defined routes. User defined route means there is a system route. So if user wants to make a route in his own way, then he can make a route it's himself. So it is called user defined routes. A route table contains a set of rules called routes that specifies how packets should be routed in a virtual network. A route table, as I told you, a route table contains some rules that how it will go in how packets. Actual packets means a data flow, how the data will go from one virtual network to another virtual network, or in the one VM to another VM. User-defined routes are custom routes that control network traffic by defining routes that specify the next hop of the traffic flow. Next hop, there is a word is next hop. Next hop means the next destination or next link of to data flow. Suppose you have a VM A and VM B. So you put a hop, a device, suppose a router, between them to connect each other. So if you want to connect with VM A to virtual machine B, then next hop will be that router, because from the next hop, by the next hop they will go to connect with each other. This is called the next hop. The next hop can be a virtual network. The next hop, what can be next hop? A virtual network, a gateway, as I told you, a gateway means a router gateway, a virtual network, internet, or a virtual appliance. Virtual appliance means a VM or set of VMs. Like in a VM, you can set up some rules, energy. So you want to make that type of rules in your virtual machines. You can add a security software there. So you supposed to make like this way that if anyone wants to go to the internet in from this network, then they should go by this way, without that VM, without touching that VM, or without connecting that VM, no one can go through the internet. So you can put like this way. So this is called the route. Normally you will just make in your own way. So there is a simple example, a traffic coming into the public subnet. There is a public subnet. Public subnet means is a public network. It means anyone can, suppose you can make it as a internet. You can think it is a internet. So any internet, if a internet and a private network in a virtual network. So there's a private subnet and there's a public subnet. Public subnet means you put here some public IP. This IP is connected with firewalls, maybe energy, network traffic rules, and a lot of things can be used by this public subnet. And there's a private subnet. Private subnet is it is like there is IPs which are used for some VMs. So if any public IP, public subnets, the members of any IP or public subnet wants to access, wants to link with private subnet, or private subnet wants to link with public subnet, then there in middle there is a virtual appliance, means a virtual machines, where he can put a security or a system firewall or a software firewall or software security. They will go through this. Without this they cannot connect each other. With VNet peering also, this is called the routing. So, and this is the, in public subnet is a routing table. From the public subnet, anyone wants to go with private subnet, so they will follow the routing table, that they should go by this way. It is written here that if you want to go private subnet, then you should, first of all, you should connect virtual appliance here, any virtual machines here, then you can go in the private subnet. This is the routing table. So how we will create the routing table and route? I'm going to the lab, so in the portal, so you can check there also, so it will be clear for you. So this is my portal as usual. So I am routing here route. Sorry, ROUTE, route tables. So there is a route table here you already created. So I'm making another route table. So you just click it, create here, and it will create. It will give some options to create. So as usual, we know that there will be a, first of all, they will ask for you a subscription. You will give your subscription here, and then must be resource group. So give the resource group here, like as we have AZ-104. Then region Southeast Asia, so you can keep it as Southeast Asia. Name second parallel, second route table, SCC already. Route, second route. Propagate routes. Select no to prevent propagation on-premise route to the network interface associated subnets. If you want to connect with your net, this subnets or the route table will be associated with the on-premise network or on-premise connection, then you can give it a no. But this is a propagate a gateway route, so I make it create yes. So next tags, we know how we use tags, so I leave it as it is. Now I'm going for review and create. So it is creating. So make it create. Deployment going on. This session I will go quite a bit fast because we have another module, a big module, Azure storage is coming. Go to resource group. So where is the route? Route tables. Not came yet. Yes, second route came. So now it is a route table is came, but we need to configure this route table. So I click here, second route. The name of the route table is second route. Now we need to route. Where we will route. So click add. So route name like private to subnet. Anything you can give. I just rotated private to. The name will begin with a letter, a number. What is happening? Letter or number, and do the letter. No, I'm not giving any gap. Maybe now if there is space, you cannot give space here. So here, address prefix is destination. What will be the destination? Destination will be a IP address. Suppose I give any subnet's destination for route. Where we will go, the subnet will go in a private network, which one is 10.0.1.0/24. This is a private network address, so destination will be here. The next hop, if I want to go here, from the next hop will be from how will it go, like I will take a virtual appliance. Virtual appliance means any VM where we can put some security levels or any service. So I put here any. Suppose we didn't put create any virtual machines here, so we can put any like 202.1.0.2. Sorry. So this is a IP address. For whom IP address? This IP address is for this virtual appliance. So I click it add. So it is adding. So it is added. So private to subnet one route table is added. Now we have to associate this route table in a subnet. Which subnet will use this route table? So I will go virtual network here. Where is virtual networks? So type here for virtual network VIRTUL. So here is the virtual networks. So any, suppose I am putting here AZ-104 virtual networks. Where is the subnets? There is the subnets here. I make it default. I'm just putting, already I put one route table there. So here is another subnets. I put it default, and here is written route table. Which route table will follow this subnet will associate it with route table. So I will put here. Why is it there? Because this VNet is, you can check this VNet. This VNet is in East US and our route table is Southeast Asia. So we cannot put here because these are the two different locations. So go here AZ1. Suppose we make another subnets for this subnet. Already we put one route here. So we cannot put here. We can change here, but better we can create another subnet here. Subnet B or subnet A. And we put it as it is. Now we can put here route table second route. Now save. So what happened there? If any network, any IP from here, any virtual machines for this subnet wants to go that I'm going to again to make it clear. Any virtual machines for subnet A wants to go this address, any virtual machines from this address, they should go by this virtual appliance. Without this, they cannot connect each other directly. This is called route. Default, your system, your use the default route. So you are making a route by this way. You can change also this virtual mesh, virtual appliance, and you can change these things, no problem. So this is the route. This is the routing. As a we have just created the user defined route here. So these are the steps as we follow. Now there is another thing is service endpoints. What is service endpoint? Service endpoints is a nice thing. Endpoints limit network traffic to specific subnets and IP address. For a specific subnets and IP address, they can limit the traffic. Improve security for Azure service. This is for only service. Service means there are some service there like uh, storage service, active directory service. They are controlling this service traffic. Optimal routing and Azure traffic from the virtual network. Endpoints use the Microsoft Azure backbone network. They are using the backbone network and simple to set up and less management to override. It is easy to set up. What is normally you will be think about that when there is a service, suppose there is some services here. So when you put some service, this service always create a public IP and it will connect with a virtual machines when the virtual machines have a public IP. So there is a when two public IP is connecting with each other, there it means that it is publicly to the internet. So there is a some security issues there. So that's why for resolve this security issue, we use this service endpoint. When you use this service endpoint, what happened? This public IP, we don't need no longer this private IP. There will be a net resolution there, net translation there, automatically private IP with this system, with this methods, private IP with this service, private IP can be connected with each other as a service. It means virtual machines, one virtual machines want to add with a Azure storage account, they can easily account without a private IP. Normally, if you don't use service endpoint, then these two will be added by the public IP, and which is threat of a security, threat of a data security, because these are both public IP. It means they are both exposed in the internet. Then there is a private link. Private link means private endpoint link. So there is a computer, there is some computer, and they want to link with some SQL server. So there will be a private endpoint which they are connected with the SQL server, but in a restricted way, in a mapped resources. The private category to service on Azure traffic remain on the Microsoft network with no public internet. There will be no public internet. It's a very secure way they are connected with each other. There is no use of internet. So integration with on-premises and peer network. And also when you are supposing there is a VM and your data is in the on-premise, then you can use private endpoint. For use the private endpoint, the data will not be in the internet. Then they are in a way that in a tunnel way, they are directly privately connected with each other. In the event of security incident within your network, only the mapped resource would be accessible. If there is a problem with your incident about the security, then no that there will be no there will be no think about the data security, because there is a map resource which are connected with each other. So it is not actually open in the internet, so you don't need think about the expose of data or security of data. So there is a load balancer. Another thing is load balancer. What is the load balancer? Load balancer is how you can load your balance your traffic load. This is the load balancer. And here is the small graphical representation to make you understand easy. That is front end. Front end means a public IP, a device, maybe a gateway or maybe virtual machines, which is consist of public IP. This is the outside of the network. When there it's coming, we will put a service called load balancer, and this load balancer has some rules. By applying those rules, they will. There is also a backend pool. Backend pool means there is a some there may be some databases or some resources will be there, or by the rules they will distribute the traffic between the resources. This is called Azure load balancer. There is a help probe. Help probe is a system. They are just checking and monitoring the backend pool resources, whether they are working well, whether there is a problem with them or not. So there are basically two type of load balancer. One is public, another one is internal. This is the public load balancer. So we have a virtual network. In the virtual network, we have a subnet. In that subnet, we have three VMs, and we have a port 80. Port 80 means suppose anyone wants to connect with suppose any apps or many maybe a website is there, so they want to access the website. So if there is a one VM, then the webs if outside of the your virtual network from the outside of the internet, they are coming to your VM. If your website is very popular and there is too much traffic, then there will be site will be slow and your network will be very much heavy. So that's why we put three website in three VMs in the backend pool, and you use a load balance and make some rules there. So that's why the traffic is distributed by the VMs. So it control the load of the traffic here. So this is public load balancer. Why it is public? Because it is connected with the outside of your network with the internet. And there is another one, there is an internal load balancer. It's a very simple example. Suppose you have a application with database. So there is a three database application with a database. So if you put one VM and one database there, suppose one database, and there are three VMs is there wants to connect with the database. One is for this VM is for using for apps. This VM is using for iPhone apps. This VM for Android apps, and this VM for normal web app. So both three are connecting with this one SQL server. So when they are connecting and when they're fetching data from here simultaneously or continuously, then what happened? This SQL server may be very much busy and maybe very much too much traffic will be there, so it can be slow. So what we do, we make a backend pool there and make three SQL server as it is replicated SQL server, and we put a rules here that they can distribute the traffic from three different servers. So it will be easy and it will be traffic will be less and the system will be fast. So this is internal load balancer, because the whole load balance is going functioning in a virtual network, not the outside of the virtual network or in the internet. So these are the load balancer SKU, how you can make a load balancer here. Backend pool, maybe VM is a single availability or set of VM skill set, one maybe in a one VM or any VM is single virtual network, including blend of VMs or availability set of VM skill set. VM skill set means a group of VMs. There are some load balancer rules. So there is a pool, you can put some load balancer rule here. There is a session persistence. Session persistence means suppose one load balancer, it is basically a public load balancer. So you are connecting, there are connection of three connection is there. So what happened? So which load balancer, which will follow the load balancer? One is none, nothing follow, just going for simultaneously. And there is one follow, you can put client IP. Then you fix here that this connection one client IP will go virtual machine one, connection two client IP will go virtual machine 2, and connection 3 virtual machine will go virtual machine 3, like this way. Or you can put client IP and protocol both. It means client 1, when client 1 asks for port 80, it means for a website, then it will go for VM1. If client 1 is asking, suppose 20 FTP, then it will go for VM2, like this way. So this is session persistence, how you can balance session. There is a health probe. As I told you, health probe means to check simultaneously your backend pools resources, whether they are working well or not. Is there any problem? There is another way. There is another thing is Azure Application Gateway. It's a very interesting thing. Application Gateway is for browser. Suppose why it is Application Gateway? When we suppose you have a application in your portal or in your service. So what happened? So you want to uh, control the rules or make some rules in the application gateway for that application. So in the browser, there is a browser. Sorry, happens there. It's not working. So what happened there? There is a browser. Browser means a user. A user wants to connect with your any applications. So first of all, they will go a gateway where is a application gateway is there, and in the gateway they will HTTP and HTTPS. It means a web applications. They will listen from the HTTP and HTTPS. Then there will be a rule applied. The rule is different rule. That rule will carry the browser or carry the user to the any VM or set of VM or your on-prem server. So what is the rules and application gateway? We will now check. There is a two application gateway routing. One is path-based routing, another is multiple site routing. Suppose you have a website that contains some videos, some pictures, and some files. So the website name is contoso.com. So people are asking to check the contoso.com image file. So what happened? It is going to application gateway. Application gateway give a rules that if any user wants to check the image files, then it will go the image server pool. There is a subnet, and you put those subnets all the PC in the image, so it will go in the image server pool. If anyone from the outside of the your network or internet, they wants to access the videos of the website, then it will go for in the video server pool. And if there is any text files, you can put here another video and another server pool, that one backend pool, you can tell them for text, so they will go for that pool also. So this is the rules of one way to path-based routing. And another is multiple site routing. Multiple site means suppose you have 2 or 3 or 4 sites. So when anyone wants to go for contos.com, then the application gateway will go to the contoso pool to the that user. If anyone wants to go to the fabricum.com, then they will make the connection with this pool fabricum.com to check. The user can access or see the website from this pool. So these are the two-way path-based routing and multiple site routing. And this is the application gateway components, how it works. First of all, there is a front end. Front end will take a listener, and listener, there will be a port. The port will like 880 or 8080, what is that one, and will check the certificate. Certificate means HTTP or HTTPS. HTTPS means there is a SSL certificate or any other security certificate is there or not. Then they will go for a rule. Which rule? HTTP setting rules, and there will be by the rules there will be a they will go through the backend pool. And there's a custom probe. Custom probe means there's a stickiness of probe, like any problem or not, if you can check if everything is okay or not. This is the application gateway components. So end of this presentation today. So we will go for another module now. That one will be module 8, storage, Azure storage. It's a very important Azure storage. Storage means, what do you mean by storage? Storage means we need to store some data or information there. So this is Azure storage. So we will learn now how Azure will store the information and the data. So what we will learn here, we will learn here storage accounts, how to make a storage account, what is blob storage, what is, how the storage security works, how you Azure files and Azure synchronize work, managing storage, how we'll manage storage, and if there is a lab we need, then we will go to the port. So first one is, storage accounts. So what is storage account? Azure is a service that you can use store files. So we can store file, messages, tables, and other types of information. What is this? This one is a durable Azure storage, secure, always secure, scalable. It can be it can be increase or decrease their capacity, managed. It is managed by the Azure itself, and accessible, and can be accessible in any way. Storage of virtual machines. What is the type? The type is, it is a virtual, you can create a virtual machines, and you put the stored you put the data in the virtual machine there, and there's the unstructured data and structured data. Unstructured data means there's a data like there is no structure. It means there's no type of structure, like you cannot structure it way that there will be data of integer type or date type or boolean type or floating type or text type. It will be unstructured, any data. It can be text, it can be video file, it can be audio file, any type of data. And also there you can store structured data. There are two tiers. One is the standard HDD, magnetic drive. You have a magnetic drive. In magnetic drive, you can HDD drive you can put, and another is premium. What is SSD? So Azure storage. The Azure has four type of storage. One is container. Azure container, a massively scalable object stores text and binary data. Any text and binary data can use in the container. Azure files. Files means you can any files, you can share the files with on-premise and any way, and any cloud also. Azure table, ideal for storing structure and non-relational data. Structure means any type. You can create a table. In that table, you can create a student table, a library table, a books table like this, but it is not relational. There will be no relation with each others. And Azure queues. Azure queues is an interesting thing, a messaging store of reliable messaging between application components. Suppose you are making applications. In applications, we see sometimes there is written, we pop up there some message like loading, or you have please upload the images, or please upload the files, click here to download, like this. There are some messages. So you can create some messages here and store some messages here. So you have a lot of application you are making. So whenever any message you need from here, you just create once and you can call or you can access from those message from here. So storage account kinds, type blob storage. Blob storage means blobs and appends blobs only. You can make a blob, and append blob means access, add blob there. Supported tiers is standard. Replication options means how you replicate this data. It will be LRS, GRS, RA, and GRS. Local redundant security. GRS is global redundancy replicate security, like this service. So we will read replication options. We will read after some time. There is another way, storage general purpose one. You can supported service or blob, file, queue, table, and disk. Storage version 2, same, blob, file, queue, table, table and disk. The these two V1 and V2 versions, the difference is only in the replication options. And there is another blob storage. Blobs appends and only same thing like blob storage, and it is supported by premium tiers and limited regions they can replicate. And there is a file storage, it is only used for files, and this is for support tiers is premium, and this is local redundant and local replicate and zone replication. So what is locally redundant storage, LRS? It means data is replicated three times within a single facility in a single region. In a single region, three times it will be replicated. Zone redundant storage, ZRS. It is called data will be replicated in multiple availability zone within one region. There is a one region, but there is a multiple availability zone. In every zone, the data will be replicated. And zero redundant storage, it means data is replicated three times within the primary region and replicate three times with the region pair. That is a region pair. It is also in the primary region, it will be three times replicate, and the as well as in the region pair also. And RAGRS, read access geo redundant storage. It means data is replicated three times within the primary region and replicated with read access to the region player. There is only read access option to the region pair, not replicate. It is only for read access. Zero zone redundant storage GZRS. Data is replicated across three availability zone and replicated with region pair. It will be straightly replicate with three availability zone and also in the three region pair also. And read access zone, geo zone redundant storage. It means data is replicate across the three availability zone and replicate with read access, not the write, only the read access region pair. Actually, this one you can think about how your data will replicate, and if there is a disaster, how you can recover from the zone basis, and it will depend on your costing. So how you will access data? Data will be accessed like CNAME record. CNAME record means the URL path. The blobs contoso.com or contoso target will be contoso blob core windows.net. The container service will be my storage account. It will be any domain. If you use any domain, then it will replace like that domain. And blob.cloud dot, suppose if your domain is what we can say, target. Suppose your domain is target, then it will be target.blob.code.windows.nt. Table service, if you want to access table service, then you have to write in your browser that target.table.code.windows.nt, like so on, query service and file service as well. If you prefer, you can configure a custom domain name as I told you. So this is securing storage account endpoints. In a storage account, you can control, or you can enable the firewall on virtual network system access. So that's why your storage account will be secure by the. So we will start blob storage. What is blob storage? As I told, blob storage is it will be in the container and it will store the unstructured data. It means any data you can put in the blob storage, like picture, movies, and any account can be made. Account can be one, but container will be more. In the container, we can use the blob. So how we'll do this one? There is a one thing. Let's read about this. Then we will go in the lab. There a blob access tier will be three type. One is hot tier, cool tier, and archive. Optimized for frequent access for object in the storage account. If you want that your storage account will be accessed frequently, then you will make it as a hot tier. Optimized for storing large amount of data that is infrequently accessed and stored for at least 30 days. It will be stored in the 30 days, and you think that it will not that much frequently accessed by the user. Then you can use cool tier. And archive. Suppose you are give some data as an archive. It will stay in a long time. Suppose now we will put here maybe 1 year, 2 year. If any time needed, then they can access that type of data. You can make it as a archive. So blob life cycle is a simple things for transition of blob to cooler storage tier to optimize the performance and cost. Then you can delete blobs. If you don't want, you can delete the blob, apply rules, filtered path in the storage account. So this is the blob cycle. If you create, make it as which tier you want. If you don't need, then you can delete. Authentication type, two type to uploading blob. There is a AD account or any account key is there. So actually, when we will go, there is a pricing also. Pricing depends on the how much GB you are storing blob and per month. This is the blob files and files. Demonstrate create a container. First of all, we have to create a container, upload a blob and download a blob. Then there is storage security. What is storage security? Storage security like how you will secure your storage. One is the way there is a way to encrypt your data will be encrypted, and there is another way to SAS URI and SAS parameters. Suppose if there is a URI and in the URI you have a SAS token, extra auto generated token will be there with attached with that URI. So your storage will be secure by that URI and SAS token. So there is a create and SAS service level, which service level we want to create, and create SS account level also. So encryption is there. You can put a Microsoft managed keys encryption, which is 256-bit AES type of encryption. There are many type of encryption. They are using AES type of encryption. And there's a customer managed key. You can use Microsoft managed key, and also you can use customer managed key where key is generated for your security purpose. So now I'm going for check about storage secure, how to create storage security, how to download, upload data and everything. So this is my portal. So I will go for storage accounts. First of all, we have to create a storage account. So let's create. Sorry, this is your storage account. Get this one. This is the already they have taken from here. So storage account name, I put my name YASIN, lowercase YASIN, standard. As I told you, which one is yours, and there are a lot of things. So we put it here local redundant because it will be a less cost. We will put as it is. Networking enable public access from all network can access. Data protection, it is there. Enable point time this container. Enable there is a delete blobs in 7 days. You can containers, if you delete, then you can you can recover from 7 days. You can soft delete like this. And encryption, this is managed by, as I told you, you can custom manage key. So I will put as a Microsoft manage key. All service enable support customer manage keys for all service, not only ball and pipes only. There's a tags, we know the tag. So we make it next review. Validation is okay. Now I'm making create. So it is taking some time for create. After create, we will use the storage there. So it is creating. Let's wait. Let's see. Sometime it early. Storage account. Let's see whether it's created or not. No, still working. I think it's now okay. Let's check. Yes, now came. So this is a storage account I make. Name is Yasin. So I click here Yasin. In this storage account, we have some storage, data storage like container, file shares, queues, tables, as we told. So we start with the first one is container. So click containers. So here I will make plus one container. So container name is any name. Suppose I can blob one, or you can take uh, image, private. You can blob anyone, anonymous read accessible, or container can anonymous read access and containers and blobs. I will put here all containers and blob data can be read by anonymous quest and clients blobs within the container. Anyone can use. So better make it no private, make it this one. Create the storage creating now image storage create. So just you want to put here some image. So click here upload, select a file. What I can suppose I can put here this image code upload. It is uploaded. So the file is uploaded here. So if you want to click here, you can see the file. File properties will be there. So copy it. If you want to see, paste here. Yes, the file is here. So this is the files we access from the Azure storage. So this is the way. And from here also you can download. So you can create a container, a blob container, any unstructured data, and you can upload it here. Make a container and upload it. Now we have another option is file shares. File shares is very simple how you can create a file and share it in Azure, in any Azure, or like file one, like transfer hot cool, we make it hot, create, successfully created. Click here, same way, upload, same I can put here, upload, same file I putting here. So it is uploading. Now it is uploaded. Now think is how you can share this one. This is important thing, how you can share. Suppose you want to share, this one or with my PC, suppose in this PC. So here is a connect options, click connect. When there's a connect, which machine you are using, suppose you are using Windows. So I pick a a drive letter, storage account key, show script. So there is a script is written here. So just copy this script. Make it copy and go here. Type PowerShell. Sorry. Windows PowerShell here and run as administrator. It's very important to run as administrator because you need to have administrator access. Just paste and click enter. We just wait. It will be connect. Attend team to TC waiting for response. It is successfully credentials added. So it is added successfully. Now how we will check this one? So you just click this one, this sorry, this one, and Control C here. Don't it work or not? Or you can put here Control C. Now you go your PC, create shortcut here, shortcut, and paste here. Next, it will make a shortcut. Look, yasin.file.core and windows.nt, as I told you. Finish. So you can see here one share folder is there. So if you click the share folder, you will go through direct to Azure storage file system. Suppose if you want to put here some file, then also you can put here like this way. It is now copying. So you can share the folders here to share the files and folders all together. So in suppose here it is already there. Suppose now you want to check whether it is in the storage or not. Click here, it will come here. Look, another is files is already came here that we share from my PC. So this is file shares. So and these are the QEs. You can create QEs here, no problem. Just name and it will work like as it is. Tables, same. You can create tables name and table here. So and one thing we should access keys here, as we told that there is a shared access SAS shared access. This is the shared access we need now. In a way, why we need shared access now, we can know this. Suppose there is a storage account overview. We have a storage account. Now there is options then that we can open in Explorer. This is a components that you can easily access and easily manage the resources of storage accounts. So click here. They will say you download something, download components. So you can click here. You can choose here operating system, Windows. So Storage Explorer is coming here. So just wait for download. It's taking just some time. We need to wait. I'm just waiting. Waiting for download. It's just few seconds left. Now download complete. Now we will open the file to set up in my laptop. This one. Started. I accept the agreement. Now install. Preparing to install. Just follow these steps. Then you can have a storage explorer in your computer. So that time, what you don't need to go the portal. You can access storage by your in your computer, and you can manage it in your own way. Full storage. So with this component. It's finished. Now we need to launch. After the launch, we need to configure something. Then we will check the SAS security. Then we can understand why the SS security we need. So it's launching. Now it's launched. So follow the steps here. First of all, you have to sign in with Azure. So click here, Azure. Next, it is going to the browser to log in. So this is authenticated. You can return to the Storage Explorer. So I'm returning my Storage Explorer. You're now signed in. Okay, now we have to attach to resource. So click here. So we need to attach storage account and devices. Connection string key, SAS. Next. Then we will go here and check about SAS. What is the SAS? SAS is here. So all service we need, allow service type, all the service, all the need, all the, and here you can put any expiry date. If you want to put, then you can put here. And just leave it as it is. And generate SS and connection string. Then there is a, so you can click here, controls, so copy. Where is this one? P blob account. My storage account name is Yasin. It is came automatically from this. Then look, the blob container endpoint, every URL they got, including SAS account. So connect with now view Azure resources. So now there is my storage scheme here. Click here. So I create one blob store container. Let's check whether it is here or not. Yes. What is this error? Error is coming. Why? I don't know. Let's check. Refresh. Disable. Why? Detach. Again, I will. Yes. Attach resources. Let's this one URL says the URL copy. I will put here back connection string. It will be next. Why it's not coming? I don't know, but it should be. It is connection string. And 1:23 p.m. No problem. Everything is okay. Copy. Next. Connect. So it should be like this. The request is authorized to perform this operation. The storage accounts, firewall, virtual network setting may be blocking. Oh, is there is any secret IP address firewall expression? I have to check whether there is any firewall there or not. There is options of firewall. Let's check the firewalls. Yeah, there. Did I put any firewall there? Oh, firewalls there. Storage accounts. Let's check here. The resources. Check again. Close. Let's check again for generate keys. Key2, key1, container, services, object, all together, generate SS string again. Then we have a bulb, it, next. So there is a, let's see whether it is working or not, but it should be work. Why it is not? Let's see here which one I get. Everything is okay here, but why I think there is some problem with my side also. Any maybe any firewall is like any firewall. There is the storage accounts of firewall and virtual network settings maybe block the access of storage by adding your client IP address to the firewall exception or by allowing any all network is select networks. Maybe some issue in the network region. So let's check again. There should be attached. Everything is okay here. There is virtual networks. Is there a load balancer or not? Let's check. Is there an application gateways? Then I have to delete any load balancer. No load balancer. So what is the issues actually? Let's check. So there is nothing. So let's delete the route. Let's check whether this route is the problem or not. Maybe IP is IP is delete this route. Is it is in use? First of all, remove the routes here. Delete routes. Yes. Second note also I will delete routes. Let's see what happened. It will work or not. Should work. Disable is there. No. Actually, I have to check the resources why it is not coming like this way. But normally it should become this way. I will check and I will let's see again the subscription. Let's check from subscription whether sorry, not this one. Authentication, cancel, attached to resources. Let's check again. Storage account. Let's see again, just last time. If I cannot add, then I will show you in the next class to check what is the issues is there. That is an access key. I will share key. Just put here container services. object, make the service and make it off. Generate key, connection string is there, copy and put the connection string again. Check user service string is okay. So again, make it like service also. An object we have to generate. Now copy. Now I can put here. Now it's okay. Next, let's see. Already attached resources is there. View the resources. SN2. No, it's not working. So there is a maybe problem with the security or firewall or anything. So I will check from my network also in the PC to check whether the what is the issues is there. So normally if it is working, then there is a Explorer. In Explorer you can easily maintain the Azure files and storage. So next class I will show you how to make it. I will fix it this one, and I will show the this tools in the next class, in the very first in the next class, the next day. So this is the thing, and then we will go the uh, file synchronize system, how we will file synchronize Azure files and Azure blobs. We know about Azure files shares and everything. We read here how to Azure files and share everything. Synchronize is one thing that if you make a synchronize, then there no need to go for any share and for copy and paste. Automatically it will synchronize with your on-premises data or any branches with your Azure storage. Suppose in your Azure there is Azure storage and there is a lot of branches there on premise or anyway, then if you put a sync as you file synchronize components, then all will be synchronized automatically. If any changes, then it will automatically synchronize with Azure storage centrally. So it will make your it will make your data flexibility and your performance will be better and compatibility with the on-premises file server as well. So it will also archive your file system. So how it works, the structure is like where there is Azure backup. So in your file system, you make a two different directory like accounting and sales, and there will be a cloud endpoint will be attached with every folders and every directories, and these directories are synchronized with your Azure backup with the Azure file synchronize. By this way, if any changes from here, it will automatically synchronize way and copy it into the account folder in storage account. So how it is work? It is work deploy the storage synchronize, then prepare Windows Server. We have a if I want to show this one, that time we need to deploy one server here. So prepare Windows Server, install synchronize agent. We have to make an agent in our server and register it in the Windows Server. So it will automatically synchronize. So this is the way to Storage Explorer. As I show you, it will be, I cannot show this one. It will be like this. You can create, delete, view, edit resources, everything in there. Online often shared access key. I tried with a SS key. Maybe some network security issues. It becomes I cannot show this one. So next class, I in the very first I will show this one. This is the way. So import job, import the files, import the disk and everything you can easily maintain from here. Any storage services. So this is the end of module 8. So if you have any questions, then you can ask me here. I will try to answer those questions. So Surag, are you there? Hello everyone. If you have any question, then you can type here. I will try to give the answer. Express route model, yes, you can add a private link on the express route. Express route is like different thing, and private link is a different thing. Private link is like express route. Express route means you have to you have to take a service from the Microsoft providers, and private link is to link with resources, not like premises, site to site point, or like any VPN. Any other questions? You can ask, no problem. What would be the best practice of storage? Actually, it is depend on your data. Which data you want to store? If you store like unstructured data, any video and audio files, then you go for container and blob. Suppose if you want to make a tables type files, structured files, then you can go for tables. If you want for a message storage, then you for queue, like this. It depends on the data. Yes, SharePoint can consider as a blob storage, because in SharePoint you can put anything. Thanks to you also, MD Kamrujaman. Yes, yes, it is possible. I will show you next class about the Explorer, Storage Explorer using. You also good night, Jesse. Thank you so much also who are giving me thanks. I am trying to show you everything and wants to teach you everything in the AZ-104 syllabus. Yes, I will share the slide with Surag. Surag will share with the slides with you. No problem. Yes, of course, it is possible. Migrate data from storage. It is easily possible. Redundant links. So yes.
So is there any other questions? think there is no other questions. Yasin, can we wind up the
Yes, yes, we can wrap
session
up the session.
if everything's good? Okay. Thank you, Yasin, for the session, and thank you all for joining with us today. And I would like to remind that there is no attendance form, and we will be starting the same time tomorrow. So please make sure you remember it and check the community for the updates. And as Yasin said, I'll be sharing the slide in the community, and you will be getting it in the follow-up email after the training is concluded. Okay. And thank you all for joining.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.